Hey, Magnus here and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about calories and if you should be counting them. First off, what is a calorie? Calorie is a unit of measurement. Very specifically, it's the amount of energy that's required to raise the temperature of 1 milliliter, which is also a gram, of water by 1 degree Celsius. All foods can be measured in calories. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I usually don't talk about calories or I don't talk about counting calories. Does that mean that you shouldn't count calories? Well, yes and no. If you know me, you know I'm very passionate about my coffee. A couple of months ago, I discovered Son of a Barista. I got blown away by the coffee. I couldn't believe that a coffee from a pod could taste like a barista made it. And I am really picky with my coffee. This coffee is roasted in Italy, which means you get all the typical Italian blends. One great thing is that you get more coffee in every pod. You actually get 7.5 grams instead of the standard 5 gram. So that means you'll get a creamier, fuller tasting coffee. I have partnered up with Son of a Barista to give you guys a great offer. Right now, if you buy a starter kit, you will get the machine for free. If you love coffee as much as I do, you'll thank me later. So if you use the link in my description, you get to take part of this great offer. I usually talk about eating the right macros or macronutrients, which are protein, carbs, and fat. First off, we have protein, which are the building blocks of muscle and tissue. Protein's vital and we can't survive without it. Then we have fat, which gives you energy, shields your organs. It also helps you produce some vital hormones like testosterone, for example. Boom. Then we have carbs, and there's 3 different categories of carbs. We have the fibers, starches, and then sugar. Carbs that are high in fiber are really the best for you. They help you lower your cortisol, curb your appetite, and they're overall healthy for you. Good example of carbs that are high in fiber are beans, fruit, veggies, whole grains. These will help to curb your appetite. Then we have starches. Good example of starches are grains, raw vegetables like potatoes, sweet potato, or radish. Then we have sugars. And unfortunately, sugars are many times super tasty. You know what I'm talking about. Ice cream, candy, a lot of food have hidden sugar in them too. But sugar is rapidly absorbed into your bloodstream, and on top of that, a big spike in insulin. So, should I only be looking at macros? You see, for me, there's a relationship between macros or macronutrients and calories and micronutrients, which are vitamins and minerals. They all matter when you're looking at your diet. If I would look at my calories first and foremost and only track my calories, my diet would most likely be unhealthy and not help me reach my goals. Let's say my only rule was to eat around 3,500 calories a day. I could eat those 3,500 calories in donuts. Would that be a good diet? No. Tracking macros helps you get the proportions right, and that is a great start. If you dial in your macronutrients, you will most likely have dialed in your micronutrients as well. You see, you have micronutrients in everything from fruit, seeds, nuts to whole grains. So where does calories come in? Well, there is a chance that you have dialed in your macronutrients and your micronutrients, but you might be eating too much. This is where tracking calories might come in. If you're eating more calories than what you're burning, you're gonna gain weight or fat regardless of your split of macros. But I have to say, it is really hard to overeat if you've dialed in your macros and you're eating somewhat healthy. The only time I really count calories is when I have a challenging makeover and we're really struggling to get there. Many of my superhero makeovers, I barely count calories at all. Well, that's my 2 cents on counting calories. you need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, which means you need to eat less than what you're burning. If you ask me, most of the time, counting calories is not needed. I eat 4 to 5 meals per day, around every 3-4 hours. I make sure that 17 out of 20 meals are on point or healthy. That's a 4-day cycle if we're talking about 20 meals. So 3 meals in 4 days. I eat whatever I want. Over 2 decades as a trainer, I've come across so many different people that are struggling with their diet and how to get it right. So what I've done is that I've developed a system that is super simple and anyone can follow. In the morning, I eat about 1.5 fistfuls of protein, and I might throw in some vegetables there as well. Then 3 hours later, I eat a snack which is the size of a fist. That consists mostly of protein. I might have some good fats or fiber in there as well. Remember, fibers are a good carb. Then I have lunch, which consists of 1 fistful of protein, 1 fistful of carbs or fat, or a combination of both, and 2 fistfuls of vegetables. 3-4 hours later, I have my second snack of the day. And once again, it consists of 1 fistful of protein, but maybe with some good fats or fibers in it. Then we have dinner, which is my last meal of the day. And dinner consists of 1 fistful of protein, 1 fistful of carbs or fat, or a combination of both, and 2 fistfuls of vegetables. You can eat more vegetables if you want, but at least 2 fistfuls. This is a great starting point, which you can modify later if needed. If you feel like you're not getting enough food, you can just make small adjustments and see if that helps. For example, me personally, I actually eat 2 fistfuls of protein for lunch and for dinner. That's the adjustment I made because I felt like I didn't get enough protein. If you monitor every week, you can probably tell if you're gaining body fat or if you're not getting enough energy. You might have to play around a little bit. Maybe take down the carb and fats, or maybe even bump it up. So what if you have small fists? Well, normally a big person have a bigger fist and a small person have a smaller fist, but yeah, we're all different, right? So if you feel like your fists are extra small and out of proportion, maybe up the food a little bit. If you're eating healthy already and you feel like you have most of this dialed in, you might want to calculate your macros a little more specifically. Personally, I don't do that. I don't want it to take up too much of my life. I really like to monitor, check in every week with myself to see how I feel and if my body fat's going up or down. But then again, I'm a trainer and nutritionist, so it might be easier for me to monitor myself than the average person. So there you have it. I like to get my macros right instead of counting calories. But sometimes you might want to have a look at your calories. Maybe. Hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to drop a comment below what you want to see next. Subscribe, press like, and I'll see you next time. Boom.